Hi guys, it's been a long time. Welcome to another edition of Debo Reports. So please guys, we need your support, we need your encouragement. Please like our channel, comment. We are open to, I can emphasize, we are open to constructive criticism. Just give us a comment, like. You can also please share. It's not every time you'll be discussing entertainment. You have to discuss current affairs, political affairs, international affairs, name it. Just discuss something that is more intellectual. It's not every time you'll be discussing not every time you'll be discussing so many things. You also need to learn what is going on internationally. You also need to learn what is going on domestically. You also need to learn what is going on in your current space. So guys, last year we agreed we're going to be discussing, we're going to have 3 parts of on Nigerian government and politics. The last time we discussed the first part. This is the second part. And if you look at it, take our last video, you notice that on the first part we discussed the blunders, the current state of Nigeria, the blunders, the errors, and what we want to see. Funny enough, we started seeing progress. I think this current government in Nigeria, that's led there by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I'm not like I say, I'm not in any political, I'm not an APC member, I'm not a PDP member, I'm not in Labour Party, I'm just party neutral. There's a party neutrality in this channel. Like I say, we are not like aligned to any bloc. We are, non-aligned. Let me just use the word, we are non-aligned. So we see that there's a progressive increase in the economy from the last time we discussed. That is a good. We give them kudos because no matter, let's look at the exchange rates. You see that the naira has gained strength. The naira has rebounded strong, and you can see the parallel market. How the if you know economics very well, you see how the price of the naira has increased, like the value. Though people, the price of goods and services has not gone down, but I think they are working on that. So that's a good achievement. And secondly, you notice that the structure of the government, because one of the things I discussed last time was that the government needs to cost structure cost. And I think one of the things they did was that, banning international travel for some ministers, like people are going to follow them and they should not travel. And some of the officials just use the officials on their traveling. I think that's also good. Another thing here I would like, let me continue with their strength before I go and criticize. Let's continue with their strength. As we near the 1-year anniversary of the takeover of President Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, May is when he took over, May 29. As we're going to near next month, he's going to celebrate his 1 year in office. I can see that as at least comparing when he took over office, of course, his predecessor, which was the same political party as him, failed woefully. This is a failure. Let me just put it that way. In terms of that aspect, last year was a failure with the Emefiele, the former CBN president's policies was a near total. It was a failure, total failure. Let me just say near. It was a total failure, and I also blame the government because you can't. You are the one that appoints your ministers. Nobody appointed your ministers for you. I'm not of the opinion though. The minister worked alone because it's not possible for a minister to carry out such policies without his boss not being aware. So like I said, I'm not aligned. And so when Tinubu came in play, we saw that things got also worse. But we noticed that they have this kind of listening here. They are listening. Although we have had series of this in the past, whereby a government in the first tenure, the first two years, they tend to work hard. 2-3 years. Yes, that's their pattern. It's a certain list of like a few presidents, like let's say President Yar'Adua. We have some few exceptions. So we see that this Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration has a pattern of listening here. Like if you look at the ministers, they are up and doing. In fact, the Southern Minister of Power, he said some careless statements, which he actually corrected himself. Before he said those statements, Nigeria has been struggling with power. There's power outbreak. They have not been power like electricity. One of the things for economy to be strong is power. Generating electricity. Most people in Nigeria, they use generators, they use solar. And now people can afford generators that even induce like fuel or diesel. Like imagine how the price of it is going to be. It's going to affect businesses, particularly small and medium businesses. And even the solar is also expensive. So we still need to rely on that, back on that power. And when there was a complaint, the minister promised and he said it's going to, before 1 year, they're going to work on it. He started giving some statements, some careless statements, which he also credited that he apologized for it. Imagine that, maybe he didn't apologize, he was not listening. So this means that criticism is getting to them. I remember when the economy was getting, people started shouting, there was hunger in the land in Nigeria, and it shows that the government are attentive. That's a good one. When President Tinubu came into power, there was a sort of controversy based on ethnic reason, based on political party, based on the predecessor, failing woefully also. So you expected that, of course, he came into a system whereby the party that was there before also messed up. So he had to prove. He has to prove a lot, and he said he's going to be up and doing. There was also question on his health. So he needs to prove much. What he's doing now is not even, is just, I feel like he needs to do more to show, because there's still these trust issues with Nigeria. They have, let's see where is he going? Let's see. So he still needs to sit up and doing. My own opinion, before I get to his criticism part on what you need, let me not use the word criticism. What he needs to work on more. I feel that power issue is number one. Number two, security. I think there's still more issues to be done on security, which was a challenge in the last administration also, and also been a challenge since the time of President Jonathan, Goodluck Jonathan. There's been a consistency in security. Another thing I think the government needs to prioritize, which I feel that is every bedrock of every country, education and health. You can't take those two. You can't take education. You need a strong, you need to have a strong education system. I don't know. Currently, I don't even know who is the Minister of Education. I don't know what he's doing. I'm sorry to say. I've not seen any impact on his own part. The only thing he came in, there was this ASU, this union thing with ASU and all those union matters. I know that's been trending, But I feel that they should take a rigorous approach, and the system needs a total reformation. That's the education system. Secondly, I also feel that the health sectors, we have the cases of health workers. They use the word jackpa. Let me just use the word. They use the word jackpa, migrating to internationally to other countries, and we're not getting more into, we're not replacing them. You need a vibrant health sector. You need, that's what has still related to that, linked it to education. So I feel that they need to work on the health sector and the educational system in the country. Let me just limit it to not only, let me just live like in the junior, like the secondary schools and primary schools, the tertiary institutions, the College of Educations, the universities, the polytechnics. So they also need to work on that. So, I said this is going to be 3 parts. In the third part, we will now do the final analysis on, the performance. By that time, they would have celebrated 1 year in office. That's this administration. So we will see that a trend, when President Bola Tinubu came to power, people had this, can he walk? He's sick, he's old. Like, because of the previous presidents, based on series of international traveling for treatments. We were, Tinubu initially was going to France during the campaign period for treatment, and when he came into, he was also traveling. So there was this skepticism that, can this one perform? Will he perform? And of course, everybody were looking. When he entered, so things were getting worse. You see, we told you, this kind of thing. We told you this and that. We wanted someone young. But I think he has proved himself up to this extent. Because if we look at the kind of what we are expecting from him, we didn't expect him to do as much as what he has done in the last, let me say, 8 months. Let me use the word 8 months. In the last 6 to 8 months. And he also, challenging his ministers to be open. Look, imagine there was a minister of humanitarian affairs, Betty Edu. You'll be surprised when he did appoint her, she already stole that kind of amount of money. And she's facing persecution. So, that means it shows that he's trying to say that I'm not, I'm also fighting corruption. But people will say, need to come through a corrupt means. That is not us to judge. Since the Supreme Court has given the ruling, is our legal, let me call it, is our legal president, recognized by the international world, international system, and nobody can say anything. So you have to accept, it's our president, and you have to accept that. Your own focus now, it should be, how do we, enjoy the president? How do we take something out of it? Like I say, I'm not a party affiliated member of anything, but all I discuss cuts across party lines, and I leave all those politics at the back and discuss a real analysis. So that'll be that. And on the third part, we expect to get the final analysis, and we hope we continue to see this kind of improvements in the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his team. I use the word team because some ministers are performing while some ministers are underperforming. I expect him to tax them more. We have some ministers too that are also doing well in various sectors, not only one you just see on TV or hear on the news. We have so many ministers. Minister of Interior is performing from the reviews. This one is not fake, not paid reviews. It's real reviews. So we have some ministers that are performing, and other sectors like that. So we hope, like we are a federal system of government. We have the states, we have the federal, and we have the local. And another thing I tend to notice that when something happens in the country, like they tend to promote the president. Do you know that you can even actually call your representative in the Senate, in the House? They also have power. They're supposed to be checking the executive. The legislature is supposed to check in the executive. Call them to order. You even have at the local level, you have the councillors, the chairmen. They are collecting money. The state governors, the state of our assembly. It's not everything president. Somebody died and they'll say it's the president. If somebody, maybe there was something, somebody was duped. this president. What about your at the lower level, grassroots? In fact, the grassroots are the closest to the people. I feel we should take up and in fact there should be more emphasis on the states, House of Assembly, on the state legislatures at the federal level. We need to focus on them, and also the governors. We have some exceptions. I know that some governors are trying. I would say, let me just be frank with you. I feel Lagos State governor is trying. Lagos State governor is trying. We have some exceptional states that, not because Lagos is a mega city. That those like Abia State governor, for example, is from Labour Party. Lagos State governor from APC. They're trying. They are doing the work. Unlike some governors that move on and enjoy themselves and flanges and attend parties. No. So we need to make sure that we hold our leaders not only at the federal level, also at the state and local government. Yeah, at the state level, there's also we are practicing the federal system. At the state level, there's also the legislature, also at that level. We should hold them accountable. We are the one that appointed them to represent us at the Federal House of Assembly, that is at the Senate and at the House of Rep. So we should hold them accountable. Can't be collecting money, be gallivanting everywhere, and you're always you're shouting the president. Somebody dies, the president. Why? That should not be so. So I'll see you next time. And please, don't forget to like this channel. This video. Comments. Please share with your friends. Share with all your acquaintances. Share with everybody. We need your encouragement. It's not easy. I'm not doing it for views. I just because I love discussing politics, and as a political science student, I just love discussing it. And not only politics, like I told you, we also discuss current affairs, what is going on in the world. In fact, I was surprised after we finished the Nigerian section. We're going to move to something internationally again that is very interesting. Not every time conflict. We also discuss something more interesting. And in fact, I will not give you the next week. The next one we are going to do, I'll give you a hint of something interesting that's cutting across politics and sports. So thank you guys. Adebowale Taye-Faniran, that's my name for Debo Reports. Please like, you can leave your comments, you can also share, you can also give us suggestions on how we can improve. Thank you so much. Bye. See you next time.